Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Smells Like. I'm Josh. So good to see you. Thought I'd do another spring oriented video. If you haven't seen it already, check out my top 10 spring designer fragrances for this year, for 2019. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 niche or designer exclusive fragrances that I'm really enjoying for spring. These are not, this isn't a top 5, I'm not going to call it that. I'm just going to say five great niche fragrances for spring, or really the 5 niche or exclusive fragrances that I'm wearing this spring. So really not in any particular order here. The first one I'm going to talk about is from L'Artisan Parfumeur. It's Timbuktu. Now, L'Artisan is an old French perfume house, and while some of their fragrances can be had kind of inexpensively, they still are very much a niche fragrance house, just in the fact that all they make is perfume, and they use, you know, some high quality ingredients. Some of their fragrances are quite expensive, and I think at retail, even fragrances like Timbuktu are still, you know, fairly expensive. Timbuktu, so this is vetiver and mango. That's really the two main things I get from this, are kind of a slightly watery, slightly earthy, dry vetiver, kind of a juicy green mango note, and then incense. And that really where some of the magic is in this fragrance, is this incense that kind of weaves its way through. So really the main players in this fragrance, this is kind of a, to me, smells like a more serious fragrance. Like this is serious perfume. Not very much of a playful fragrance to me. It's slightly mature, although not super mature or anything like that. But it's more serious. I'm not gonna say it's mature. It's a serious perfume. Like I said, mango, vetiver, really based around vetiver is the main thing, and then that incense really gives it kind of this interesting appeal, an supremely interesting fragrance. I mean, it is just a total work of art of a perfume. It's a real pleasure to wear, and just so interesting, so you know, multifaceted as you wear it. Just a great work of art, as well as a great perfume to wear that just really fits the whole spring feeling. That's Timbuktu from L'Artisan Parfumeur. So the next fragrance that I want to talk about is a style of fragrance that I particularly really love, the eau de cologne style, which is one of the oldest styles of fragrance, the eau de cologne, which water of cologne, I think because the original one was made, the original first one was made in Cologne, Germany. Guerlain is famous for their eau de cologne Imperial, which was created for, it's like Napoleon's wife or something like that, for royalty. So the eau de cologne is based around neroli, you know, bitter orange, orange blossom, that's neroli. And then citrus is really some citruses, maybe a little bit of spice, but mostly just very, very fresh, soapy neroli and citrus. One of my favorite eau de colognes is from Tom Ford, who really did an homage to the original eau de cologne, kind of a luxury version of 4711 when he created Neroli Portofino, and then upped the ante in terms of luxury even more with Neroli Portofino Forte. Neroli Portofino Forte takes that eau de cologne, that neroli and citrus, and kind of amps it up, gives it quite a bit more performance, quite a bit more lasting power, and gives it some legs to it. This has a suede leather accord added to it that really gives it a nice base to rest on. I'm wearing it today. This is just such a beautiful eau de cologne. It really is. To me, it rivals some of the best eau de colognes. I mean, you know, arguably Chanel's eau de cologne, one of the best eau de colognes ever. Guerlain's eau de cologne, some of I know some of my Chanel and Guerlain guys are going to be like, what? No. So, please don't kill me for saying that this is, rivals some of those. I'm not saying it's necessarily better, but it's up there. It really, partially because it performs, but it is so rich and luxurious of an eau de cologne. I just absolutely love Neroli Portofino Forte. I'll wear this all spring. I'll wear it all summer. I've been living off of decants for the past couple of years. Actually, for the last, I think this came out 2 years ago, and I've been wearing it ever since. Finally got the nice 100 ml bottle actually just recently. This actually just came in, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to have this. Love it. From Tom Ford, Neroli Portofino Forte. Next, let's talk about a slightly more playful spring fragrance. This is from the house of Bond number 9. You may have guessed that I might be talking about this one. So this is Bond number 9's Bleecker Street. Really, I think a pretty cool bottle. Some people think the bottles are, you know, gaudy or you know, cheesy. I think this one in particular is cool. I think it's a cool kind of art piece, which is what it's meant to be. Bleecker Street has notes like blueberry, cassis, which is like the blueberry leaf, gives it a really green, strong, green grassy feel, which really brings out that spring sort of flavor. There's also some woods in here. Mostly to me, I just get this kind of sweet, sort of juicy, kind of fruity feeling, whether that's blueberry or what. Maybe blackcurrant. And then this really kind of green, grassy aspect. It really is kind of a fun, kind of playful fragrance. I really like it. You know, this one is not the artistic high perfumery that like Timbuktu is. It could be argued that it's artistic high perfumery, but it's not in the same way. This has that kind of classic French high perfume feel. Whereas it's more fun and it's extremely modern, which is a big difference there. Not the most natural smelling thing either, but very much a work in modern perfumery, modern synthetics, and I really enjoy wearing it. This one really does just remind me of spring, and had been on my bucket list for a long time. Funnily enough, some of these are kind of fragrances that have been on my bucket list since I first got into fragrances, and so I'm finally getting bottles of some of these unattainable, expensive niche fragrances that I kind of fell in love with when I first got into fragrances. Neroli Portofino, Bleecker Street was one of those, and the next one was also one that was kind of on my bucket list until I got it recently from Creed. It's Silver Mountain Water. So Silver Mountain Water also has this sort of sweet, juicy berry thing going on. In here, it's blackcurrant. There's also like a green tea note. There's a really interesting musk, like a fresh white musk. And this is meant to evoke the white-capped mountains and the snow starting to melt in the springtime, and then those mountain streams rushing down the side of the mountain. It's really what this is meant to evoke, and it really does bring that to mind. If you have that in mind when you smell this, it really has a sort of white or silvery, maybe even slightly metallic aspect to it. But to me, this one really, another very artistic fragrance, very interesting and unique, extremely unique one from Creed. Maybe one of the most unique ones from Creed. People talk about Creed as being this, entry-level niche, and it's super crowd pleaser and stuff. Creed has some super crowd pleaser fresh fragrances, but some of them are very unique. Even though Silver Mountain Water I think is quite popular, to me it is extremely unique. of fragrance DNA, and that I really love. And like I said, it had been on my bucket list for a long time, and spring is the perfect time to wear this one. Silver Mountain Water and Bleecker Street and Neroli Portofino have kind of been on my bucket list for a long time, and with all three of these I'd been living off decants and enjoying them from time to time when I could, but finally, you know, able to get bottles of these, and I'm really excited about that. So let's talk about one more fragrance this year for spring. This one from the Chanel exclusive, Les Exclusifs de Chanel. We've got Sycamore. You know Sycamore had to be on here. I talk about Sycamore all the time. Sycamore is this sort of smoky vetiver, smoked vetiver and woods, pink pepper. You know, I don't know what it is about vetiver in spring. I guess because vetiver is a grass, and you know, spring you have the grass finally starting to spring up out of the earth, and the vetiver is so grassy. It can also be really earthy and green and bright. It just really, it encompasses everything that we think about in spring. And so I think that's why there's a lot of vetiver fragrances that get talked about in spring. It's why, you know, Timbuktu is a vetiver fragrance. Sycamore, very much a vetiver fragrance. Sycamore, because of the smoky nature and just because of some of the density that it has, well, I don't know. I was gonna say that I feel like it's more maybe for early spring, colder spring days, but I could see this really sparkling and shining with a little bit of heat as well on a little bit warmer spring days. So again, Sycamore, great for spring because I think it would stand up under the cooler conditions. Well, I know it does. I've been wearing it all fall and winter this year. But I think there's enough brightness, there's enough transparency here that you could definitely, and I will be wearing this during the spring. So that's five niche or you know, high-end designer fragrances for spring this year. 5 fragrances that this is kind of my high-end spring rotation for this year. Other ones I'll be wearing a lot are Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I decided not to talk about it because I could put it in it. I wear it all year round. I love Baccarat Rouge. I'll be wearing that a lot. And I'm very much excitedly trying out a lot more of the exclusives from Chanel. The Chanel Eau de Cologne is on my radar. I may wait until summer. It is such a light Eau de Cologne that I may wait until summer and save up a little bit and get the big bottle of Chanel Eau de Cologne. But so many fun fragrances to start to get into now that the weather's finally starting to warm up. So really looking forward to the rest of spring and then getting into this summer. So let me know, what are some of your favorite spring niche or designer exclusive high-end fragrances for spring that you're wearing this year, or that you're excited looking forward to wearing this spring? I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or any you think maybe I should try based on my taste here. So I always love to hear from you in the comments. If you'd like to do this again sometime, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right here at the Smells Like Fragrance channel for another video next time. Thanks so much for watching.